I'll explain why I'm a little lackluster on this particular episode when everyone arrives. And you may also notice it's not going up on Facebook either. Well, it's not going up on my personal Facebook. There's a reason for that as well. A couple of people I want to say thank you to, of course, our amazing Patreon supporters. We are going to be changing this list, of course, because we're going to be coming around to Patreon payout. So obviously people will have dropped out, people will have jumped in. We've got one or two people that have jumped in on the when it came to the Bill Sienkiewicz episode, which I thought was cool. What else have we got? A couple of things I can share with you as well. But we're going to do that in a minute. It's Wednesday. Into the Blue Mister's joining us. Hello there. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, got a new animation. Hey, look at this. I'm going to be doing this as well for a slightly more full screen version. But just to remind you, we're on all these separate platforms. I'm going to sort the animations out as well so it's nicely slicker and we can put it up on the other ones. But you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on occasion, and on Twitter as well. Englishman SDCC. Yeah, I know. Ooh. Oh, we've got loads. We've got loads of little things like that coming up. But yeah. Hopefully you've got a cup of tea to hand. I know if you're watching West Coast, you're just getting into your day. It's what, 10 o'clock? Where is the TCC info? I should put that up, I suppose. Let's see if I could just do a quick banner for it. Hang on. That's one thing you can also do really quickly in this particular program. And you can hear me typing away. And I can add that banner and hit go. Conventioncollective.com. He says, checking very carefully if he hasn't misspelt it. Right, so we've got ourselves a few people watching, which is okay, because to be fair, this is going to be a slightly low-key episode, and I shall explain. If we're not going to be keeping you 2.5 hours, like we have done with recent episodes. My word, have we done some really big episodes recently? Okay. Hello there, everybody. Getting slick, Leonard. We're getting there. I mean, I want to do a little. I want to do an animation with so like welcome to and all of that. But what I want to try and avoid with those is I don't want to look like one of those really generic YouTube intros. But we're getting there. I mean, I found my music. If you search for Cherry Wayner on YouTube, you will hear, I'm going to use a Cherry Winter track because no one else uses it and I like it. But there we go, that's just me. Right, we're not streaming to my YouTube personal. We're not streaming to Twitch. We are streaming it tonight on YouTube, on Periscope, and on an Englishman in San Diego Facebook. This is an episode which is going to be incredibly short because we don't have a guest. We possibly had a guest lined up, and he sounded interested, but when he answered the email, it was middle of the day for him yesterday, which means he had to see the reply to the email right then and there. Otherwise, right now he'll be waking up to that reply, and he's missing it. Let me just check my email, just see if he's woken up and gone, maybe I can appear on this thing. No, so he's not going to be joining us. But I mean, let me tell you who it is, and you can tell me how excited you would be. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Put your comments in. How up would you be for me talking to Eric Larson of Savage Dragon, Savage Dragon and Image Comics fame. It's when he's available now. I was introduced to him on an email thread thanks to Russ Burlingame. So yeah, that'd be cool. Hell yes, says Into the Blue Mister. So there you go. That could be on the cards. One of the founders, sure, of course. Right. So we don't have a guest for today. I also haven't got many guests lined up for July. I'm going to show you a graphic in a minute of what we've got lined up for this month. It's particularly feeble, but the reason being, it's been well documented about the fact that we have had COVID in the house. Last week was a tough week because my father did take several steps back. We're trying to get him back up to some kind of speed, and the thing about COVID is it knocks you for six. You cannot disrespect this disease. It does permanent damage. My father has been free of COVID now for coming up to 2.5 months now, and it has done some permanent damage to his health, to his energy, to his physique, and he just needs to rebuild pretty much from scratch. Last week he was in hospital because he was doing a checkup due to COVID being a strain on health services across the globe. It took him a while to get into his procedure. He got back on Monday, so yesterday. Monday. So my attention has been on him. Yes, I've been distracting myself by doing the hangouts, and it's been fun because this is what allows me some release and just some distraction from the reality of the thing. But at the end of the day, that was my attention last week. It's now time to get back into it because at the end of the day, the way that we usually do the hangouts, we run them to San Diego Comic Con, and then we do a show on the Monday, and then we kind of say our farewells for a spell and then come back. That is what we're going to be doing this time round, because it's safe to say the episodes that we've had have been absolutely phenomenal throughout the course of this season. It's just been so much fun. The guests we've had are just incredible. It's just been so impressive to have that amount of talent kind of taking their time to come and talk to us, and it's been great. However, we are going to stick to the regime of just taking a little bit of a break once what would be San Diego Comic Con is out of the way. I can imagine, even though it's a virtual con, it is going to still be a very busy couple of days, especially for myself, for Dan Berry, and for anyone else that's paying attention to what's going on at what would be San Diego Comic Con. So that's the plan. Let me just save this because I want to just get this graphic up on screen. Michael P is saying hi too. I'm going to jump in with a couple of people who are saying hi. Into the Bloomers is saying hi. Dan Berry says you're welcome indeed for the contributions for from the Patreon supporters. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Michael P says good morning as well. So listen, thank you very much indeed, guys, for watching. So let me show you this graphic because it does give you an idea of some things that are coming, but also not a great deal about the rest of it. It's a bit feeble, to be fair. But let's see what it says. Look at all those TBAs. Oh God, that's even worse than I thought. In fact, looking at it, there is actually something missing. Let me just drag it on there. Let me just get the spelling right. There you go. Wednesday. Have I got the thing right? Anyway. Right. So, we did have a guest lined up for today. They dropped out. We then got introduced to Eric Larson by email, but he hasn't got back to us in time. So we may have him further down the line. We do have an incidental episode that's taking place next week. Joe Illidge. Now, a name you may not sound familiar with. But if you know your comics, and certainly there's been a number of announcements recently. He's been a player. What spelling is wrong? Where's my spelling wrong? Oh God, Englishman. Where's my spelling wrong? Come on, Dan, don't be vague. He does this every time. Illage. That's what I put. Oh, Ilaj. Right. Okay. Yes, my spelling's wrong. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, Joe P. Illich. He has been a player in comics scene for quite some time. He was involved also in the a Wave Blue World effort about a year and a half ago, which was an award-winning anthology. He was involved in that. He has been somebody who has been part of the firmament for a while. Also, in recent weeks and days, Joe has been someone who has gotten himself a very nice gig indeed. Currently working with Heavy Metal Magazine, which means he's going to be involved with their new imprint. He's going to be involved with reshaping all of the elements to what heavy metal is all about. He is a very cool dude. I met him at Portsmouth Comic Con. He came over to meet up with everybody over here on this side of the pond, and he was just he was a fun, interesting, erudite, verbose, well-informed guy, and yeah, it's he's an interesting chap. Looking forward to talking to him. That's Joe Illich, and it's going to be taking place next Tuesday. So we're going to start the week with an incidental. We've then got a run of TBAs. We did have some guests that said they were up for it, but to be fair, I haven't been motivated to push for some guests to be filled. So we're going to sort that out. Peter Turner says, "Good evening, Leonard. Hope you're keeping well." As I've explained, fair to middling, as we say here in Yorkshire. I'm getting there. Into the Blue Mister. To be fair, May and June's episodes were pretty spectacular. Going to be hard to live up to. You're telling me. You are absolutely telling me. Now, I have been sending out emails. I'm going to be chasing up those emails tonight and tomorrow. Hopefully those TBAs will disappear and will become a little bit more full, certainly by Sunday. But for now, it's a bit grim and a bit slight on the ground. The dates you may notice there, the Wednesday 22nd to Sunday 26th, it's a bit vague there as well. It says an Englishman's Comic Con. Something that I wanted to do was from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK for 7 hours straight to do non-stop wall-to-wall interviews and wall-to-wall con stuff on the Wednesday through to Sunday. However, a couple of things. Number one, a friend of mine, Mark Jackson, he runs MacPow, which is a small convention here in the UK. Runs something called the MacPow. It's in Macclesfield, and he decided to do MacPow at home. And he ran it from 10 till 3. 10 till 4 is what he did it. And it nearly killed him. It was really obvious it was hard. It was a hard slog. And I was watching it, and I was watching him flag around the 2 o'clock mark, and I was thinking, that could be me. The other reason why I've decided we're not going to be doing that is because of the same reason why Nerd HQ doesn't run or struggles to run. At the end of the day, you've got to find guests at the same time that San Diego Comic Con is running. Now, admittedly, 10 in the morning here in the UK till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we would have been just nudging on to what Comic Con's schedule is going to be. So, it would still have been treading on their toes. So we've decided not to do that. We are going to do some episodes on that week. And one of those episodes, if I can just pull up this picture, we are going to be having somebody joining us. Let's see if I can just find that picture. This is where I now can't find this. No, I can't. never mind. We do have a couple of guests that are lined up for that week, but it's not going to be. It's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit fast and loose on that week. We have got some stuff planned. The one thing we do have planned, however, and more details are going to be coming out over the course of the next couple of weeks, is a Comic-Con after party. We're going to be doing this via Zoom. It is going to be an invite only. We're going to be taking charitable donations for the slots. So basically an entrance to the door. All the money that gets raised goes to charity. We're going to try and get as many people in as we can. We're looking at I think it's 100 people can come in on a Zoom. We're going to try and do like quizzes. We're going to try and do little interviews. We're going to hopefully have some DJ sets, maybe some karaoke. I don't know. We're going to try and organize something a little bit special. But we are going to be having a Comic-Con after party. It is going to be taking place on the Saturday. And it's going to be approximately 6 o'clock in the evening till 11 o'clock GMT. So it's going to kind of coincide with the end of San Diego Comic-Con. More confirmations on the times as well, because we want to organize some other bits and pieces with that. But either way, on the Saturday, on Saturday the 27th of July, on 25th of July, we are going to be having an after party. Adult beverages will be more than recommended. So you're going to have to get stocked up. It's going to get messy at the back end. I'll put some waterproof covering over the keyboard and make sure that everything stays relatively protected. But we're going to do something special on that. And basically, we're going to just try and raise a bit of money for charity. And hopefully have some special guests along for the ride. So that's the plan. That is our Comic-Con after party on the Saturday, the 25th of July. And then it says Sunday there, it's the Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, we're just going to wrap things up with a bit of a closing down session for this season. And then we'll announce what's going to be happening moving forward. Because obviously lockdowns are starting to ease. People's times are now getting pulled back to the daily grind. Guests are proving a little bit harder to find now. And yet we are still finding ourselves with no conventions. We're just going to get sorted. It's going to be awkward. Into the Blue Mr. Fire pits. We need fire pits for a proper SDCC party. I agree there will be virtual fire pits. It'll be down in the corner somewhere you can visit as a virtual fire pit. Listen, we got stuff planned. Anybody got any ideas? Drop me a line. By all means, I'd love to hear any suggestions. But I've got a couple of things. Let's see what we can do. Just for 2-3 hours, we're going to have a little bit of a party to celebrate San Diego Comic-Con and the fact that we're not able to have an after show party. And I think we should have one. So we're going to organise one. I don't think anyone else is at the moment. So I think, yeah, we're working on it. Dan Berry, I'm going to be going to the SDCC blood drive. Good man. Bravo, sir. You do right. Yeah, I saw that being advertised. Bravo to you. So that's where we're at the moment. Those TBAs will disappear. But for now, that's where we're at. Another quick announcement as well is about audio for an Englishman in San Diego. This got prompted by a couple of people, B. Dave Walters that came on an episode, and also the com guy. Basically, we had the gang basically tell me that I should get some audio up. So I did the Bill Sienkiewicz episode. I did the recent episode with Mike Avilia and Russ Burlingame. I did the Con Guy episode, and we got those up on our SoundCloud account. That automatically pushes to iTunes. At which point someone said, well, would you be able to get them up on Spotify? And I was under the impression you had to jump through a few hoops to get a podcast on Spotify. Not so much. You provide them with a link, it gets verified, and your podcast is on Spotify. So it is. At the moment, there are 5 episodes up, and they are the recent ones. What I am going to be doing is going back through the podcasts and putting them up. So if you want to share them, if you want to like, subscribe to those, I'd appreciate it. You just have to search for Englishman in San Diego on iTunes, SoundCloud, and on Spotify. They are the audio versions of the show. Slightly awkward with some of the video stuff that we put up, some like images that we put up on screen, but the context is kind of lost. But for the majority of it, they're good conversations. Yeah. If you are somebody that doesn't want to listen, watch the show and you want to listen to it, that's what we're doing. So you can hear them up on at the moment. I am going to try and work back through the episodes because we've had some absolute blinders this year. It's been jaw-dropping, the people we've on. Even when we got started, even when we got into the first groove of it, right at the back. I mean, we started with the organisers of New York Comic Con. That's where we started, for God's sake. We've had some great guests. So I'm going to be trying to get those up on those podcasts. If you want to support, by all means, I'd really appreciate it. And I think that's pretty much me. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in for this very short just announcement about what's coming up. It is an update. If I can get Eric Larson on a future episode, I'll slot him into one of these TVAs. But we do have some other guests that are kind of lined up. We've just got to chase them. And they're pretty big as well. Let's see what happens. But at the moment, I know it looks sparse, but trust me, we will get something together between now and that week of San Diego Comic Con. We're going to do our best to bring you all the updates as well. I'm going to finish this and then put a post up about Disney Plus and the shows that they're going to be bringing. They just put out a press release, so we're going to be getting that up on theconventioncollective.com. What website would that be again, Leonard? That would be theconventioncollective.com. Yes. Going to get all these up. We'll do what we can. But that's me. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I'm not going to put this graphic full screen because number one, the spelling mistake. Thank you very much indeed for Joe, for Dan for pointing that out. Appreciate that. My fault. And those TBAs really, they're great. Unfortunately, I want more guests, but there we go. Yeah, that's us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I know that it's a midweek disappointment to just kind of hear me waffling on, but that's just the way that this week's gone. It's been one of those. Take care, stay safe, look after you and yours, please. Please. Wear your masks, and we will see you on Sunday with a special guest. There will be a special guest. If I have to sacrifice a KFC or give my soul away. No, hang on, I've already done that. We'll sort something out. Take care, look after yourselves. I'll see you on Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, with Sunday's episode, Talking Con, a cup of tea with Englishman in San Diego. From me to you, take care.